Most people point the finger at salt or diabetes when they think about kidney damage, but the truth is, a lot of everyday foods and additives quietly pile up stress on your kidneys over years. Stick with me. This is a top 10 list of things that can strain, inflame, or chemically abrade your filters. And number 4, it looks totally harmless on the grocery shelf. Your kidneys are working non-stop. They filter roughly a quarter of your blood every minute, balancing fluid, electrolytes, and clearing metabolic waste. That high throughput is great for keeping you alive, but it also makes kidneys vulnerable. They see everything you eat and drink, small chemical insults, crystals, dehydration, and chronic changes in blood flow add up slowly. Think of it like a water filter. Sand, oil, and acidic water each damage the membrane a little. Over time, the filter clogs and scar tissue forms. The good news is, many of these risks are avoidable or reducible with simple swaps and habits. If you care about long-term kidney health, subscribe for more science-backed alerts. I'll keep these practical and evidence-minded. #10 High-sodium processed foods. Why? It's a problem. Packaged snacks, canned soups, frozen dinners, and restaurant-processed components pack way more sodium than your body needs. And that excess sodium often comes without enough potassium to balance it. Mechanism in plain English: sodium holds on to water and raises blood pressure. Higher pressure means more mechanical stress on tiny blood vessels in the kidney and a higher workload for filtration. Over years, that pressure can lead to micro-injury and scarring. Real-world examples: instant noodles, canned sauces, deli rolls, frozen entrees, and many packaged snack mixes. One quick swap: cook more with whole ingredients and flavor with herbs, lemon, and vinegar. When you do eat processed items, look for low-sodium versions and add potassium-rich sides like steamed spinach, baked potatoes, or beans. If you're on a sodium-restricted plan for medical reasons, follow your clinician's guidance. Number Y, non-dairy coffee creamers and ultra-processed creamers. Why it's a problem? Those powdery, shelf-stable creamers and many non-dairy mixes contain industrial hydrogenated fats and artificial additives that change how membranes and cells behave. Mechanism in plain English: some additives can increase membrane permeability or trigger low-grade inflammation potentially nudging the kidneys toward protein leakage or chronic stress if consumed frequently. Real-world examples: powdered creamers, many flavored Coffee Mate-style products, and coffee whitener powders. One practical swap: switch to a small amount of real dairy, if tolerated, or choose unsweetened plant milks, oat, unsweetened almond, unsweetened soy with minimal additives. When in doubt, read the ingredient list and avoid products with a long list of chemical names. Oito menos alcohol, especially sugary mixed drinks. Why? It's a problem. Alcohol dehydrates and alters metabolism. Combined with sugar, it becomes a double hit. Mechanism in plain English: alcohol shifts fluid balance and can reduce effective circulating volume, stressing filtration. Drinking also raises levels of uric acid, which can form sharp crystals that physically irritate tubules and contribute to inflammation. Sweet cocktails are worse because the added sugars fuel the same uric acid pathway and metabolic trouble. Real-world examples: binge drinking, frequent evening cocktails, and sugary mixed drinks. Practical tip: moderate your intake, prioritize water before and after drinking, and avoid sugary mixers. If alcohol is a regular heavy habit, seek medical help because the effects on kidneys and overall health can be significant over time. Sechi, green smoothies, and oxalate overload. Why? It's a problem. Many popular green smoothies combine high oxalate ingredients that can raise the amount of oxalate passing through your kidneys. Mechanism in plain English: oxalate is a natural plant compound that can bind calcium to form crystals, think sand, or tiny glass shards, and when those crystals form in the urinary tract, they can create stones or scrape tubules, sparking inflammation. Oxalate issues are especially likely when you have low dietary calcium, poor hydration, or a disrupted gut microbiome that doesn't break down oxalate well. Real-world examples: big daily smoothies made with spinach, beet greens, almonds, or almond milk, and lots of raw greens. Practical swap: rotate your greens: kale, lettuce, and bok choy are lower inoxalate. Add a calcium source like a bit of yogurt or a citrus-based ingredient. Lemon lime boosts urinary. Drink enough water and avoid making huge daily green smoothies exclusively of high oxalate greens. Also, a healthy gut, including bacteria like Oxalobacter formigenes, helps manage oxalate, but that's a factor, not an instant fix. #6. Artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, acesulfame K. Why it's a problem? Zero-calorie sweeteners aren't biologically inert. Their breakdown products and metabolic effects can stress kidney cells in subtle ways. Mechanism, in plain English. Some sweeteners and their metabolites interact with gut bacteria and cellular mitochondria, creating oxidative stress or altering tubular function. Over time, that low-level cellular stress may raise risk for kidney dysfunction, especially in people with other risk factors. Real-world examples: diet sodas, sugar-free gum, light desserts, and baked goods made with artificial sweeteners. Practical swap: reduce dependence on these sweeteners, taper down sweetness overall. Use small amounts of natural sweeteners like a touch of real maple or honey if acceptable, or better yet, retrain your palate toward less sweet foods. If you're using them to control calories for a medical reason, discuss with your clinician. #5. Processed meats and cured proteins. Why it's a problem? Bacon, sausages, deli meats and other processed proteins bring added phosphates, nitrates, and compounds formed during curing and smoking. Mechanism in plain English. Inorganic phosphate additives are highly absorbable and raise the phosphate load the kidneys must manage. Nitrates and glycation products increase oxidative stress and inflammation, and a chronic acid chemical burden can promote calcification and scarring in kidney tissue. Real-world examples: bacon, hot dogs, packaged ham, many pre-sliced deli meats, and some jerky. Practical swap: favor fresh, minimally processed proteins, grilled chicken, beans, eggs, or fresh-caught fish, and treat cured meats as an occasional indulgence rather than a staple. Y. Foods high in added phosphates, the seems healthy trap. Why it's a problem? This is the surprising one. Many foods that look normal, convenience cheeses, certain protein bars, some packaged whole food blends, and even some bottled smoothies contain inorganic phosphate additives. Mechanism in plain English. Phosphate is essential for the body, but inorganic phosphate additives are absorbed very efficiently. A repeatedly high phosphate load forces the kidneys to clear more mineral, which may contribute to vascular calcification and stress on renal tissue over the long term. Because these additives hide in ingredient lists under names like phosphoric acid, sodium phosphate, or calcium phosphate, products can appear wholesome while quietly increasing mineral load. Real-world examples: processed cheese slices, some fast food items, many frozen ready-to-eat meals, and certain flavored or fortified beverages. Practical swap: read labels when phosphate or chemical phosphate names appear. Treat the product with caution. Favor whole, minimally processed dairy and unfortified alternatives. Reduce reliance on foods that list phosphate additives near the top of the ingredient list. This one sneaks up because it often doesn't taste processed or salty, it just looks normal, hence the shock. NSAIDs and frequent OTC pain relievers, nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Why it's a problem? Over-the-counter painkillers like ibuprofen and naproxen reduce and that has direct effects on kidney blood flow. Mechanism in plain English. Prostaglandins help keep the small blood vessels in the kidney dilated. Blocking them can reduce renal perfusion, especially during dehydration or when other stressors are present, and repeated reductions in blood flow can cause ischemic injury and chronic damage. Real-world examples: taking ibuprofen daily for headaches, persistent muscle pain, or chronic conditions without medical supervision. Practical note: don't stop prescribed medications without talking to your healthcare provider. For short-term pain, use the lowest effective dose and discuss alternatives. Topical therapies, physical therapy, acetaminophen when appropriate, or medical evaluation with a clinician if you're relying on NSAIDs regularly. A. Industrial seed and vegetable oils highly processed. Why it's a problem. Commonly used seed oils, corn, soybean, cottonseed and some canola are often extracted and refined with high heat and chemicals, producing oxidized lipids. Mechanism in plain English. Oxidized fats generate aldehydes and other reactive compounds that can injure cells and trigger inflammation. When these compounds circulate, the kidney's filtration and tubular cells get exposed and can suffer oxidative damage over time. Real-world examples: deep-fried restaurant foods, many processed snack foods, and cheap packaged items listing vegetable oil without specification. Practical swap. Prioritize minimally processed fats such as extra virgin olive oil for low to medium heat cooking, avocado oil for higher heat needs, and whole food fat sources like olives. Nuts in moderation for oxalate-sensitive people, and fatty fish. Avoid repeated consumption of foods fried in industrial seed oils when possible. Number 8. Sugar and fructose, sweet drinks, HFCS agave. Why it's a problem. This is the biggest single dietary contributor on the list. Fructose, the sweet component that's abundant in high fructose corn syrup and many sugary drinks, has a unique metabolic pathway that burdens the kidneys. Mechanism in plain English. Fructose metabolism consumes cellular energy and leads to increased production of uric acid. Higher uric acid can form crystals that abrade kidney tissue and also promotes inflammation and metabolic changes that worsen blood pressure and metabolic health. Liquid sugar is especially dangerous because it delivers a big dose quickly and doesn't trigger the same fullness cues as whole foods. Real-world examples: sodas, sweetened iced tea, fruit juice cocktails, many sports drinks, and sweetened energy drinks. Practical swap. Drastically reduce sugary drinks, replace them with water, unsweetened, sparkling water, or herbal tea. Read labels for hidden sweeteners, and use whole fruit instead of juices. If you need flavor, add a squeeze of lemon or a splash of real fruit puree to water. Putting the pieces together. Why this accumulates silently. All of these items share two features. They increase chemical, crystalline, or hemodynamic stress on the kidneys, and much of that damage is cumulative and often asymptomatic until later stages. You won't feel a kidney getting slightly scarred the way you feel a burned finger. Instead, the loss happens bit by bit. Combine repeated insults: dehydration one day, a high-sodium processed meal the next, a few sugary drinks, and an NSAID during a sports weekend, and you're increasing the odds that those tiny injuries don't fully recover. Top 3 practical actions you can start today. 1. Hydrate intelligently and mind your electrolytes. Water is the foundation, and when you sweat a lot or eat high-sodium meals, include potassium and magnesium-rich foods, bananas, leafy greens, beans, nuts, or a balanced electrolyte drink in moderation. To cut back aggressively on processed foods and read labels for hidden phosphates and chemical additives. Swap packaged meals for simple home-cooked options and prioritize whole ingredients. 3. Reduce sugar and processed seed oil exposure, and be conservative with OTCN. If you take pain medication regularly, check in with your clinician for safer long-term strategies. A few final cautions and a practical wrap-up. None of these items will single-handedly destroy your kidneys overnight. The risk depends on dose, frequency, and your personal health profile. Many people can occasionally enjoy foods on this list without measurable harm, but repeated or combined exposure, especially with other risk factors pre-existing kidney disease, diabetes, hypertension, dehydration, raises the chance of meaningful damage over time. If you have known kidney disease, persistent swelling, blood in the urine, decreased urine output, or unexplained fatigue, please consult a healthcare professional promptly. Don't stop prescribed medications without medical advice. If this helped you, like and subscribe, and if you want to follow up, check out the video on top 5 kidney protecting swaps where I walk through exact grocery picks and meal ideas. Thanks for watching, and remember, small, consistent changes in what you eat and drink can protect those tiny, hard-working filters for decades.